Hey Facebook fam, it's your girl Kamiko. It is definitely tap in Tuesdays with me. As we say, if you don't go within, you'll go without. So again, I'm hoping that you guys are having a marvelous week, top of the week. And that I just want to come in and chime real quick and so we can talk about challenge accepted today. Oftentimes, like I tell people, we tend to kick against the brick, as some would say, right? Well, one thing I have learned that when we accept the challenge of adversity, if we truly stand the test of time, great things are waits us on the other side. So again, I want to say again, tap in. And tonight we're going to go within so we don't go without. So tonight I got 4 points for you all. Last time I think we had 5, but tonight we only got 4. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right in. So challenge accepted. The first point I want to talk about is resilience as a catalyst for growth. One thing I would tell us that if adversity comes to test our level of resilience, you all. So again, like I tell people, it's almost like training in the gym, right? So if you come to the gym every day, do the same workout, don't increase the weight, don't do anything, keep everything super monotone, like how are you going to grow? How are you going to tone? How are you going to flex? How are you going to broaden out, right? So when we look at adversity in our lives, we have to kind of look at that the same concept, same way, that when adversity comes, it truly comes to test our resilience. So we have to look at it as a stepping stone for personal growth. So when we have to tell people, when adversity comes, the first thought I want to connect it to is, this is merely a stepping stone for my personal growth. So when we look at adversity that way, it takes the negativity content out of it a little bit, and it allows us to repackage and repurpose it for something positive. And so again, when we're looking at resilience as a catalyst for growth, we have to understand the fact that it's truly, really just a stepping stone. So if we learn to embrace adversity and not push against adversity, we'll, one, begin to pick up momentum quickly. We will build our strength and our courage, and we'll be able to charter that course a little bit quicker and a little bit faster, right? So again, we can't look at adversity as a negative content. If we take it, repackage it, make sure that we're looking at it as not as a setback, but more of a setup for our next level. I often tell people, when you're not sure what seasons you're in, check the things that are happening in your life. Look at the adversity that you're getting or that you're bumping against all the time. So if you're hitting adversity after adversity after adversity, that is a clear sign and indication that this is truly a stepping stone for my personal growth. I have to repackage it. So therefore, I see it as a setup and not a setback. So that's the key thing to point number 1 tonight. When adversity comes, and we're looking at our life and we see it hitting us from left, right, all sides, right? A quick indication, it's a stepping stone for my personal growth. I'm going to embrace it because it's truly a setup and not a setback. And when we're doing that, we can truly begin to, one, accept the challenge of adversity so that we can move forward quicker. Point number 2 is learning and adaptation. Adversity doesn't ask you, can I come into your life today? It doesn't knock on the door and say, hey, can I pay you a visit today? It demands attention in our lives immediately. And in order for us to be able to learn and truly adapt, we have to be flexible. It's after the time, if we knew that an accident was waiting around the corner, would we go around the corner? No. We wouldn't. We would go the other way. We'll create an alternate route. But that's not how life is designed. That's not how adversity is designed. So when we're looking at learning how to be able to be very flexible and adapt in our adaptation to change, when we're facing adversity, we can truly allow ourselves to grow quicker, you all. So again, it demands change and flexibility. So remain flexible. So therefore, not only, I often tell people, so one of the other things I will bring that just kind of dropped in my spirit is the law of detachment. So there's 7 different laws, you guys, but I love the law of detachment. It's just something I've been drawn to. And when people first hear it, it automatically comes off as a negative thing, but it's really not. I often tell people we still plan, we still, set goals and ambitions, and we still work toward them. But we don't get so hung up on the end result. And that's what the law of detachment is. Do all the right things for success, but don't get attached to the outcome that you think it should be. You have to create a space for God to work. Because I often tell people, sometimes we get so fixated and we don't have flexibility. We don't learn to adapt, and we get stuck on how we think it should look in the end. When in actuality, God is trying to do something far greater than what it is that we can ever imagine or conceive. But we're so stuck on how it should happen, what it should look like. We have to learn to let go of the outcome and let God work. We still have to do all the work. He said faith without works is dead. So yes, plan, set goals, have discipline, be flexible, making sure you're willing to adapt and overcome. But knowing that the outcome of adversity and growth, what's on the other side, is far greater than anything that you could ever imagine. So after we look at the resilience for growth, and we learn and we adapt, it allows us to build strength through our struggle. That's point number 3. Building strength through our struggle. There's a thing I like to talk about. It's called post-traumatic growth. A lot of times people talk about PTSD all the time, you guys, which is fine. That is a real thing. But there's also a thing called post-traumatic growth. So when adversity happens, it makes us stronger, more flexible, and more wiser. So when we're going through that, I often tell people, going back to the first analogy, going to the gym, lifting weights. Every time I go to the gym, I'm building my strength. I'm getting stronger. So therefore, I continue to increase the weight. Same exercise, same amount of reps, increase the weight. That's how we build muscle. You want to tone? Same exercise, same weight, more reps. So you have to determine, do I change the weight? Or do I change the reps? Do I want weight? Do I want muscle? Or do I want tone? So it's all in strategizing. Same way with our adversity. So when life has happened and adversity is coming, we know that in the end, I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to be wiser. This too will pass. It will, don't kill us, make us stronger. All of these things we already know. But when adversity comes, we cannot recall none of those things in our mind because we're so fixated on what we're going through in that moment, how it makes us feel, how life is just so terrible right now, knowing that there is a tomorrow. There's a dawning of a new day. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. But you will never escape adversity. Adversity will be with us always. So that's why I'm so stuck on people. Accept the challenge. Embrace it. It's okay, because when all of this is over, like I tell people, our bounce back season is impeccable. Our glow is impeccable. When we're in it, we ain't thinking about that. We think about how we feel. And I understand that because we're part of humanity. But in reality, in all of that, every situation you've ever had, if you go back and you're honest with yourself, in the hard times, the times that people didn't see you sewing, crying, weeping, those nights, those mornings, those days. But when you made it on the other side, it was so much better. But you had to learn how to be adaptable. You had to embrace the struggle so you can become stronger. You had to understand that it was simply a stepping stone for your personal growth. And then we have to change our perspective, repackage it, reframe it. It's only a setup. It's never a setback. It only becomes a setback if we allow it. We have to make sure we understand the power of positive thinking. And that leads us to our 4th point tonight, embracing a growth mindset. The power of positive thinking and how it reframes challenges and how we view challenges as opportunities to be better, to be great, to be wiser. That's what it's all about. So when we accept the challenge, our last point is getting to the face that I'm going to embrace a growth mindset because I understand the power of positive thinking. And when I look at my adversity, it only came to make me stronger, better, and wiser. Because there is a thing called post-traumatic growth, and which forces me to learn how to adapt and overcome and be flexible and begin to look at things in life as a stepping stone for my personal growth. Every situation that I've ever had, you all, I have go back and I look at my life, the good, the bad, the indifferent, the times when I thought I was misunderstood. The times when I thought I was doing all that I knew how and God was still saying, you got more to give. When you asked Kamika, I was like, yeah, I'm tapped out. Lord, how much more adversity? I have accepted the challenge a long time ago. But again, all of it truly comes to make us better and wiser. So I want to encourage you all, accept the challenge. Adversity is good. It will work for your good. And you're going to need it in this season so you can overcome the following season that will happen. Because often, as the song say, if he brought me through this, I know he'll bring me through that. But you're not going to be able to have that mindset if you don't accept the challenge of adversity. Repackage it, reframe it. Let it make you stronger, wiser, flexible, more adaptable, knowing that, hey, I often tell people, for every time we have to step up, sometimes we have to step out and step over. We have to step up to our fears, step out of our comfort zones, and step over those boundaries that we set for ourselves. So again, like I said, I wasn't here to be long tonight, but I was just excited about encouraging you to accept the challenge. The power of positive thinking, reframing challenges and seeing them as opportunities. As long as we can practice gratitude, embrace all that there is to come, and instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the solution. Because I often tell you there's more than one way to get there. And God will give you the strength, the courage, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. And also he'll give you the resources. Make sure you check your circle. When you're facing adversity, make sure the people that's sitting on your team can get a prayer through, can speak life to you, can give you wisdom, can make sure that everything that you need is already on deck. So when you need to reach out in your flexibility, that, hey, the things that you're grabbing to hold on to when you accept the challenge of adversity is within arm's reach. Because he'll make sure that we have all of those things. But when we start to accept the challenge, we'll know what that team needs to look like so that we can make it over. So again, I just want to highly encourage you again, whenever we're looking at resilience as a catalyst for growth, it's merely a stepping stone for personal growth. And then we'll learn and we're going to adapt because adversity demands flexibility. It doesn't give us an option. We have to be flexible. And in that flexibility, we can learn to get stronger in the struggle, focusing on our post-traumatic growth, knowing that when this is all said and done, we'll be stronger and wiser because we have capitalized the importance of embracing a growth mindset, the power of positive thinking, reframing every challenge as an opportunity by practicing gratitude, embracing all of it, and focusing on the solution rather than the problem. So again, tonight, I hope that you guys took a nugget to know that we have to tap in so we don't go without. Make sure you like, share, and visit my website, discoveringyourtrueessence.net. I love to have a 90-minute discovery session with you so we can talk about how do we move you from a place of stagnation to a place of fulfillment because you're doing all the things you need to do in this season to live a life of fulfillment. Again, I encourage you to be blessed. As I often say, pray for me as I pray for you. And together we're going to watch God do some great and mighty things because we're going to always tap in so we don't go without.